champion. The Celtics lose Game 5, 104-94 against the Warriors, and it really looks like the Warriors, their championship DNA took hold at the end of this game. Scal, just your initial impressions of this matchup, a crucial Game 5 that the Celtics really needed to win.
Yeah, so the same thing I thought in the first half is what I thought. I mean, I know they were going to make a run, but I personally don't think on the road you could spot a team those amount of points. And when it really came down to it, there was a point where the Celtics, all they had to do was finish the quarter out strong. I think the Warriors went something like 18-2 during that stretch. And like, I feel like you start out the game a little bit passive. You start out the game not being aggressive, getting downhill. You play slow. You try to pick on matchups. I don't think you're ever going to beat the Warriors that way, especially with a game like this in the magnitude of this game.
And you talk about championship pedigree, right? And championship resolve. Andrew Wiggins is learning, and right before our eyes, what a champion is and how to become a champion. He went out there and outplayed everybody on the court tonight.
Yes, he did.
And I think the Warriors, without Steph Curry being the best player out on the court, still was able to get a win here at home. Not a great crowd to support them, to get them going. The Celtics had an opportunity to come in here and do something, right, and take it back to Boston with that hostile crowd and that environment that they have, and they let it slip away by not closing the quarter and not starting the fourth quarter out with the right sense of urgency. And before you know it, you're down 10 points again, and you're never gonna climb back against a team like this.
And in that third quarter, it seemed like the Celtics got things going. They outscored the Warriors 35-24. Scal, going into that fourth quarter, what went wrong for the Celtics heading into the final quarter of this game?
It started in the third.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum initiated the offense for about 8.9 seconds. Made the pass over to Jaylen Brown. He went too early. Jordan Poole hit the three. Now, follow the bouncing ball here. Steph Curry goes out of the game to start the fourth quarter, and Warriors go at that point. I think they ended up going 13-0. So, I mean, if at that point, the way you have to play the NBA Finals is when they take the best player in the series out, you're supposed to strike. You're supposed to make Steve Kerr call a timeout, make Steve Kerr put Steph Curry back in the game. And we felt like all of our momentum from the third was let go by a bad minute 30 to end the third, and it didn't carry anything over in that fourth quarter.
Eddie, how do you have that momentum in the third quarter and then just kind of let it go in the fourth?
I think the last, I'm thinking like,
right,
I think the last shot, right, when you look at it, how it went in, you know, off the glass, a last second shot, it was like that. Y'all didn't go nowhere. Y'all didn't do nothing. The most work that we did. Remember what I was saying, like, oh, we down 12, we still have an opportunity to still get back. They climbed all the way back. They won the third quarter. That's the quarter that the Warriors usually put people out of their misery, is in the third quarter. And what happened? You take a shot at the end, go off glass, Jordan Poole makes it, and you're still down one. It's almost like they didn't recover from it. And it didn't start with just that shot. It also was possessions before that. Possession after possession after possession of not, number one, taking care of the basketball, maximizing your possession, and getting the best shot. I think too many times we rely on trying to find that one matchup. This Warrior team is not that type of team to where you want to let them load up defensively. You want to move them, move the bodies, move the ball, have them closing out, put them in rotation.
For sure.
And once you put them in rotation, then take advantage of that matchup. But if you don't do that and everybody's just standing and loading and taking away gaps, it's hard to penetrate that defense.
We've kind of come back to this a couple of times on the post-game show. Jason Tatum in the fourth quarter, it just felt like Scal, like he didn't kind of come out aggressive, like he didn't take the lead in this game in the fourth quarter. What did you see out of Tatum to finish this game?
To be honest with you, I mean, I saw Andrew Wiggins just completely outplaying him today. I thought he was a factor defensively. I thought offensively it was I mean, Tatum got space, and like his stats, you look at the stats and you would say, well, he played a good game.
Right.
But like my eye tells me that to make today, and it's really not close, Andrew Wiggins is the best player on the floor. And this poses a question, and either one of you guys, I don't even have the answer. I said earlier, I don't think Tatum has to score a lot or shoot well for us to win the game. I really don't believe that. I think that he needs to make the right play for us to win the game. And today, even though he had the stats, and I'm not trying to say like they're empty stats, but there was a lot of times where he's initiating offense and he could have got that thing flowing, and the Celtics didn't do that. And that's the reason why I feel like we did not get over that hump. But I'm not singling him out.
Right.
I feel like the game plan going into this game, I don't feel like you were ever going to win this game playing that style, playing the style where you're going to pick on Steph Curry. And by the way, that takes 7 seconds to walk the ball up the floor, 7 seconds to now get into that, and now you have 7 seconds to score.
Yeah.
So even if the Warriors, you double team Tatum and now you fly out of it, they're making one rotation. You're not going to beat this team making them make one rotation. And I put that on the Stars. I felt like Tatum and Brown took too long to get into their stuff. And I felt like the Celtics took too long to get into their stuff for them to break down the defense.
Yeah, and Wiggins was, at least in my opinion, the best player on the floor tonight. 26 points, 13 rebounds. Eddie, just how was Wiggins able to take over this game? Just like Perk said at the halftime show, if you would have told me that Wiggins was going to take over this game and help the Warriors really be the forefront person to win this game for them, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
I think he just allowed the game to come to him. A lot of the buckets were at the rim. He was 0 for 6 from 3, so he wasn't really jacking any shots. He was taking what the defense was giving him, and then again on the defensive end, I think he's starting to feel like I'm affecting Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be. Let's not forget, he's a #1 overall pick, and he's hearing all this stuff about Jason Tatum being a superstar, being a top 5 player, and all this. That's a pro on the other end. So if he can come in and work how he's been working and show what he does against him on the biggest stage, he thinks to himself, where does that put me now? People going to have to start talking about me as well. I know, yeah, all the stuff that happened before is not about where you started, it's where you're at now. And where he's at now is he is the second best player in these finals right now, and it's hands down. And we got 2 players, the best player in the finals, the second best player on the same team, and that's not the Boston Celtics. That is a problem.
That is a problem.
Back-to-back double-doubles for Andrew Wiggins in this series. All right, let's take a break here on Celtics post-game live. A look at that final score from the Chase Center, 104-94. Coming up, Kendrick Perkins joins the set. Stay with us.
Celtics post-game live.
Celtics post-game live, a look at the series schedule between the Celtics and the Warriors. The Warriors win a crucial Game 5 against Boston and now take a 3-2 series lead. And the series will head back to Boston for Game 6 on Thursday. Kendrick Perkins joining us here on the set, and Perk, a devastating loss for this Celtics team in Game 5, a crucial game for them in this series. And we know you were pretty upset at the half, but how are you feeling right now after this loss?
Yeah, I had to take a moment to woosah a little bit, because it's one thing, like, you know, you're not going to play perfect basketball every night. You're not going to make every single shot. But when you do dumb stuff, and you continuously to have those bad habits, trying to play hero ball and those turnovers, you come out in the third quarter, you take a lead, and then all of a sudden you go back to the same habits to lose the lead and actually lose the game. And I just didn't understand it. It was almost like bad body language, and it goes back to it be giving me those signs of the Celtics that we saw earlier in the season.
Yeah, 18 turnovers for the Celtics in this matchup. We know the magic number is 16. Once the Celtics hit 16 turnovers, things are going downhill, Scal. How did those turnovers kill the Celtics in Game 5?
No spacing. Guys were driving, trying to force the issue, not make it the simple play. I mean, the same things we've been saying throughout this entire series. You want to try to play hero ball or my turn basketball and do it all yourself. You're not gonna, like, the Warriors are too good defensively. They have quick hands. They're gonna be disruptive. So I think these are all, not every single one was unforced, but I think the Celtics put themselves in this position by not just playing the simple basketball that they need to play to beat the Warriors.
I'm looking at these numbers, right? But 18 turnovers, and 13 of them came from who? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
The guys that should be taking care of the basketball, who should be the leaders of the team, right? So, also, we had 10 missed free throws. You got an opportunity to get some free money. You go to the free throw line, you're fighting. These are the things that you can't do when you get down early in the game like you did in the first quarter. You can't miss free throws. You can't turn the basketball over. And then We have 50 points in the paint. They're plus 14 in the paint. So there is no resistance anywhere. I don't care how you look at it. We could flip it every which way you want to do. They dominated us in the paint. We turned the ball over. Our main three guys was the main three guys that turned the ball over, which tells me one thing. One team was playing harder. One team came to say, hey, I need to win this game. I'm more desperate. And another team came in a little bit too cool.
This is what's concerning to me. I watched Steph Curry, although he shot 0 for 9 for 3. It was a couple of times where he actually played bully ball, getting downhill. And then on top of that, this is the second game in a row that Andrew Wiggins has outplayed Jason Tatum. The second game, back-to-back games. Like, I don't want to get caught up in the numbers. I want to get caught up in the impact.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins, no knock on him, but he ain't KD.
Yeah.
He looked like him tonight, though.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins made sure that his presence was felt on the court tonight. All right, let's hear from head coach Ime Udoka. It's time now for our coaches press conference. It's presented by Arbella Insurance. Here for banner 18, here for good.
In that fourth quarter, it seemed like you guys really got caught up in the officiating there, and that's when things started to unravel. Is that what did you see there?
I think there was a little bit of that throughout the game, so not necessarily only in the fourth, but probably something we shouldn't do as much, and we all did too much.
George's side.
Brian Robb, Mass Live. Offensively, you guys really struggled there for a big chunk of the fourth quarter. I know Jalen and Jason pretty much played that whole second half. Did you feel like fatigue-wise it was